Hey, a lot of folks ask me about abortion, and it's really simple for me, you guys. Life begins at conception, and you're not going to hear me talk a lot about abortion on the campaign trail. I know, you're like, oh my gosh, Joseph, how dare you not talk about abortion on the campaign trail? Well, there's a reason for that. I think we've been beating the abortion issue to death for decades. And I think it's time for us to take a different look at a different stab at this issue so that we can actually win more of the abortion issue. And that is this. How about we do this? We start bringing back into education the value of life. You know, our kids are growing up with low self-esteem and no self-worth. They don't value themselves. And then secondarily, they are not being taught or raised to value the life in general or the life of others. And yeah, we could talk about video games and entertainment and things like that and the parts that that plays in this idea that we don't value life. But if we just start by valuing life again as a culture, we'll win more of the abortion battle. But secondarily to this, you guys, is personal responsibility is no longer a thing in our culture. We live in a culture which responsibility is deferred to others. In other words, if my child misbehaves in school, it must be the teacher's fault, or the principal's fault, or the SRO's fault. It couldn't possibly be my kid's fault, and it's certainly not my fault as a parent that my kid is misbehaving. No, it's time for us to teach our kids and our 20-somethings that that decisions have consequences, and that you need to take responsibility for your actions. And sometimes the consequences of actions and decisions might be uncomfortable, like having a child, for instance. So why don't we start addressing the root causes and the reasons that people get abortions? Maybe focus a little bit less on the abortion and put that same amount of energy into the underlying causes. I wonder how much more of the abortion battle we would win if we started fighting more on the reasons why people get abortions. Culturally, morally, and also maybe economically. That's something we could talk about in a different video. You know, a lot of times it's an economic decision. Well, how can we help these people so that abortion isn't an economic decision? Give them a path to easy, inexpensive adoption. Things like that. Just food for thought on abortion. Have a great day. God bless you guys in Wyoming. Take care. We'll talk soon.